wow, that seems like we were just talking about how far away that was, even though it seemed like yesterday. So since then, we've done a bunch of tours. We've been lucky enough to go over to UK and Europe a couple times. We played with an awesome band called Butcher Babies, as well as Alien Ant Farm, and did some tours over there. Another one we just finished doing was with a band called Devil Skin, all the way from New Zealand, which was really cool. We did like a co-headline tour with them overseas. But since Warped Tour, we came back with a band called Mushroom Head last summer, and now we're here with Birthday Massacre. So, and between that, also we've written an entire record. It's called Opus Mar. It's out now. So there's been a lot that's happened since last time we were talking.
You just mentioned your new album, Opus Mar.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, so the record is basically themed, kind of the visual and kind of lyrical content is themed around this train. It's called Opus Mar, and all of our music videos and our music kind of takes place in this kind of crazy world we call Psycho City, which is kind of our own interpretation of the world we live in. And so for Opus Mar, I found we have 13 songs. We have 13 trains on the car. So each song is kind of represented by a different train. And the reason why I really like the train analogy is because I feel like society is kind of like a train. Like, it doesn't stop. It's always progressive, always moving forward. It doesn't, carries you to the way, and it's always nonstop. But sometimes we forget, living record as the first one was, but it was more about thinking about all the people I've met through touring that are going through different issues, all like kind of the world issues, and so it just kind of made me think of this like crazy train that's just like doesn't even know where it's going. It's just going somewhere, and that's where kind of Opus Mar came from. I know it's a long explanation, but a lot of thought went into it.
Was there a song on the album that you really enjoyed working at, like recording or writing?
Yeah, I mean, each one has a completely different meaning. We wrote a song called Brave 2, which is like a second part to our first record. It's a song called Brave 1. And it deals with fear. And we feel like there's been a lot of, obviously, circumstances, and especially in the music world, unfortunately, that have dealt with terrorism and a lot of fear-mongering. And it sucks because we've, a lot of people in this community, and we just want to get out there and have some fun and feel bonded as humans. And it's like, it really sucks when somebody tries to take a moment like that and corrupts it by being so evil that they want to make people live in fear that they can't even go to concerts. And I mean, the Manchester attack that just happened is a perfect example of that. And it really boils my blood that somebody could do that, because I think coming together, enjoying music, and having that common feeling of joy and unity, and people that have so much stress and things in their lives, and they finally have like a night to enjoy themselves and embrace it, and somebody can like really ruin that by trying to inject fear into that, make people fear like doing those things. And the first Brave was basically about me kind of dealing with my own inner issues and depression, and kind of dealing with that even to get out in the world to be able to do what I love. And then the second version of Brave was more about the fact that I felt like we had to be brave in all these circumstances. We were playing Paris a week after the Bataclan attacks. We played Orlando 2 weeks before the attacks in Orlando, and I just felt like it's really important that we remember to be brave in these situations, and to really stick the middle finger up to those people that want to try to take our livelihood and our passions and what we love to do away from us, and to really try to be brave in situations that make you feel fear. So that's what the song's about. So I'm passionate about that, but every song on the record has a story like that, where I feel like it's taking me kind of on an emotional roller coaster, and there's some really heavy issues, but I find with the way I like to write lyrics is there's always a silver lining. So even if it's like the darkest topic, there's always at the end of it, a reason why you should be hopeful and why we can get over this and conquer this as a species and as a.
You're out on tour with the Birthday Massacre right now. How's the tour been going so far?
Excellent. I actually have been super enjoying this tour, not only because we're with some fellow Canadians, and we've actually known Rainbow from Birthday Massacre for a few years now, so it's great that it worked out. The venues have been awesome. We've played some really iconic venues. Tonight is one of those. I've never played the Roxy Theatre. Yeah, well, we did the Whiskey last time, and I'm just really excited to be able to be part of the show where I feel like the energy, the raw energy that I project. I mean, Birthday Massacre also has a very inclusive, where people are really inclusive. So that's really important. I feel like they're respected and are open. Well, we have a few music videos that are in the works that we're going to finish. And like I was mentioning before with the theme, is that we've done 2 videos so far for Open Now, and we got to finish those up and get those out, and then we can go Actually, when we wrote these songs, we really were writing with the idea that we were going to play them. So they suit the kind of live atmosphere perfectly. One song we played called Sweet Kite, and it has this really iconic intro, and we started to set off with it because I think it kind of sets the mood for how we're going to play.
Which do you feel are the fan favorites right now?
Free Yourself is that's when we're getting more plays on. Letting yourself be the person you want to be. I mean, there's so much judgment in the world, but you need to get to that part and let you free yourself and feel okay with being judged. Because if you're not okay with being yourself and feeling that, like, you know what, I don't care what anybody thinks, I just want to be who I'm going to be, that's where it all starts. And you know, there's always going to be someone who's going to try to put you down. There's always going to be someone that is going to judge you, or people that are going to say you're not good enough. But the important part is to be able to feel confident in your own skin that won't matter. And so I think many issues in this day and age, like even the fact that I have to face we were talking earlier about being in an independent band, and you know, it's a hard life. You're not making tons of money, but I had to come to that decision that I cared so much about being true to who I am and what I want to do with my life that I have to be okay with the fact that I might not, live in some amazing big house or have a ton of money, or be able to retire like on some beach somewhere. Like I am free enough within myself to accept like a crazy lifestyle. And I think there's so many people, unfortunately, that have dreams that they just can't follow because there's something stopping them for whatever reason. And Free Yourself deals with that and tons of other issues about just like embracing the person that you really want to be.
Do you have any tour stories that you would like to share, either from this tour or previous tours?
Yeah, well, actually, this tour yesterday, we ran out of gas on the highway, which is hilarious because our guitarist, Matt, is actually the one who's always telling us, like, don't forget things, like, be responsible, remember everything. And he's the one that's literally just driving along and forgets to even look at the gas gauge. And so we were stuck on the side of the road, which kind of sucks. our bass player who's playing with us right now, Oscar, he left his passport in a hotel, so we had to turn all the way back to go get his passport. So we're like, that's your one thing. If you lose anything else, we're not going back to get it. And then Matt had the gas issue, so we're still waiting for me and the drummer to have our moment where we do something wrong. But so far it's been pretty good. I actually twisted my wrist, like kind of sprained it the first couple days. Yeah, so that kind of sucked because you really don't realize how many little things, like even turning the keys in the ignition, it was like hurting, or I couldn't do my makeup properly because I'm so used to doing things with my right hand. So that kind of sucked, but it's slowly healing and it's doing all right so far. So
Is it really bad, or?
It blew up. There's like a huge like bulge of the fluid. I don't know what happened, but I was wearing a hair elastic, which is good to know. A little point. If you ever like hurt your wrist, to take your hair elastic off because it wasn't letting the fluid drain and it was building up in my wrist. And I put ice on it so I didn't even see it happen. And then when I took the ice off, I was like, whoa, why is there a huge like bubble right on my wrist? And then I realized, oh yeah, maybe I should take that hair elastic off. So yeah, just a point there to remember for future reference.
You've been posting videos on Facebook titled Sumo Power and possessing a different superpower in each video. If you could have a superpower, what would it be, and would you use it for good or evil?
Oh, well, I would definitely use it for good. And I mean, there's so many things. I mean, I could be kind of a geek and say that I would love to be able to fly because that would be such a cool superhero. But I mean, honestly, if I could, maybe it would be like make food appear out of thin air and like feed the world and save the world. That'd be pretty cool too.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
If you could tour or collaborate with somebody, who would it be and why?
So I have to go back to one of my all-time favorite artists who I grew up listening to, which is Gwen Stefani from No Doubt. And I know she's kind of done a lot of more pop music, especially because she's been on The Voice and stuff. But I think that it would be really cool to see her try to do something a little more rock, like her earlier roots. And I think if we put her on a Sumo Cyco just track, that would be pretty cool.
That should definitely happen.
Yeah.
She does sing a little bit like you sometimes on her solo stuff.
Yeah, I know. I've gotten a few comparisons to her in the past, and I think it's because she has been such a big influence on my life and early career. Like, No Doubt was one of my favorite bands, so that's probably why. But yeah, I'd love to collaborate with her.
I think that in the 90s there wasn't a lot of female singers, so she has influence on
Yeah. Sorry, man.
So she is kind of an influence on a lot of the female singers now.
Yeah.
Really, it's like her and like Shirley Manson.
Exactly. No, I think that there is something pretty powerful what she was able to do, especially with her song Just a Girl, like having such a female empowerment message. It really resonated with me, and I think a lot of other girls of that generation. And I'm sure if you talk to a lot of the other female fronted bands of today, they probably mention her as one of their like earlier influences.
Yeah, I wanted to sing when I was younger, but I screwed up my voice. But I loved her song.
Yeah.
She was one of her and like Shirley were like
Yeah, for sure.
influences. But I ended up finding photography and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool.
Is there anything else you would like to add that we maybe didn't cover in the interview, or anything you want to say to your fans?
Yeah, I guess the last thing I would like to say to everyone is, thanks for listening and tuning in. I'm glad you're interested in what we have to say, and for supporting independent music and independent bands. That really means a lot to me, and I just want to kind of continue with that message of, really rocking what you got and doing your thing, and to live authentic lives out there. I think the world is going to be way better the more people that follow their dreams and live true to themselves. And and check out the new record. Hope you guys like it.
And where can they find you online?
Yeah, so our website is sumocyco.com. It's SUMOCYCO.com. And then we also have our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all /Sumo Cyco, or handle Sumo Cyco. And you can find us online.